Independence on that first street out there. Congregation of they can't even say it. Congregation of Yahweh. But all it takes is one member to mess up, they blame the whole church. Am I right? Especially me. Oh, he's the pastor of the church now. Hallelujah. But I want you to know one thing, those that are listening, those that are here. Mark, Luke, John, Noah, Jeremiah, Abraham, just a few prophets. Let us look at Noah, since we were talking about the rain. How many years did Noah preach to the people? 120 years as he was building what? The ark. Telling them about their sins. They looked at him, they thought he was crazy. You building an ark? Here? Dry? In the desert? No rain. What's wrong with him? They mocked him. They laughed at him. But Noah preached to the people. But he did not have control of the people. The people had a choice to do what they wanted to do. Hallelujah. So what I'm saying, I said that to say this. You cannot blame the pastor for what members do not do. They have a choice. The Father give them the word. They speak the word. They hear the word as well as you hear the word. But that doesn't say you're going to do the word. But again, you'll find yourself in the same situation that we're going to read about here today about Jonah because of his disobedience. Again, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to make you aware of what can happen, what will happen if you disobey the Almighty. Do you understand? See, many people don't believe things until they see it. Hallelujah. Yeah. But we can avoid that. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to go through pain, do we? Just a common cold I don't like. Change of voice, smell, everything. You uncomfortable. I think I heard someone say that earlier. Sister Deborah, maybe. When you are sick, you're uncomfortable. Your body is don't function right. Hallelujah. But let us read. We'll begin chapter 1.
And the word of Almighty Yahweh came to Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, a great city, and cry out against it, for their evils have come up before me.
Listen at that, what I told you earlier. Their what have came up? Their evil wickedness ways. What do we see in this world today? Evil and wickedness. There's nothing new under the sun. Am I right? But he told Jonah to do what? Rise up and go. Verse number 3.
And Jonah rose up to flee to Tarshish.
Listen at this. Jonah was going in a different direction. Do that sound like some of us in here? Hallelujah. We want to go in a different direction, Brother Shannon, than what the Father told us to do. Huh? Let's read on, see what's going to happen.
To flee to Tarshish from the presence of Almighty Yahweh. And he went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish, And he paid the fare and went down into it to go with them to Tarshish from the presence of Almighty.
Listen at this. This man went down to Joppa. Huh? Found a ship that was going where? To Tarshish. Total opposite direction. Paid his fare. Just like some folks today, they paying their way to hell and they don't realize it. I don't care how much tithes, how much offerings, how much you do. If you commit sin, you're going to die and you're going to go to hell. I'm not judging you. You can read the same thing I read. And it's going to tell you the same thing. Am I right? It's the word. It's not Brother Blackwell. But listen. Jonah was on the run. He was running from someone that he couldn't run from. You understand? Huh? We find ourselves running. What's that old saying we say? You can run, but you can't hide. But Jonah, Brother Shandon, was on the run. Went down. Found a ship that was going to Tarshish. Trying to go to another city, except the right city. Do we understand how we do things, but it's not right? We want to go in different direction than what the Father commanded us to do. On the run. But Jonah could avoid this. You can avoid this. Well, let us read on, Brother Shandon. After he paid the fare, trying to get away from the presence of Yahweh.
And Almighty God sent out a great wind on the sea. And there was a great storm on the sea. So that the ship was thought to be broken up.
Listen at that. Almighty Yahweh sent this great wind. This wind caused the sea to roar. Hallelujah. Have you ever been on a boat? And the sea got choppy? See, I ain't never been on one. That's why I'm asking you.
It's scary.
Huh? Huh, Brother Roland? Yes, I know you've been on one. Brother Williams and Brother Ross. That's what was going to happen to this boat. This boat went to breaking in pieces. Why? Because Almighty Yahweh sent this wind that was very strong. And I guess the only thing that I can relate to is I wasn't in the sea, but I was on land in my house. That was my ark. Huh, Sister Blackwell? But we heard the great wind. We heard trees breaking. Do you understand? Well, what was that storm? Ida. And many folks won't forget Ida. Ida caused some chaos. Disrupted many people. And I'm here to tell you, I was one of them. My stomach, I used to hear people say their stomach was turning. Well, mine was turning. I was scared. And I'm not scared to tell you I was scared. I told my wife, we better get out this room. Let's go on the other end of the house. Matter of fact, let's go get in the truck and sit under the car porch and let the truck. So I started my truck up after we got in there and drove out from under there, turned to the left. And when I saw those trees down and power lines, I put it in reverse and back in there. Because guess what? At that point, we couldn't go nowhere. Do you understand? So I want you to imagine Jonah on this ship. And Yahshua sent this strong wind, Brother Bruce, made the boat rumble, shake, quake, do all of these things. And you out there in the middle of the sea. Nothing around you to protect you. I want you to imagine that. Let us read a little bit more here, Brother Shannon, before I go ahead of myself.
And the seamen were afraid.
And
each one cried out to his mighty one.
Listen at that.
And threw the cargo which was in the ship unto the sea.
Wow.
To lighten the load.
Come on now.
But Jonah had gone down into the lowest parts of the ship, and he lay down and was fast asleep.
Listen at that. These men was on this ship panicking. Do you understand? These people knew that something was going to happen. They was going to sink. So they threw things overboard so they can lighten the load. Maybe they can contain the ship on the water a little bit better. Hallelujah. But what did Jonah do? All this chaos going on the ship. Jonah goes down some more in the bottom of the ship. Hallelujah. Don't that sound like some of us in here when chaos is going on in our life? We try to do everything to get it away from us. Hallelujah. And most of us try to sleep this chaos off of us. All we want to do is sleep. And hoping when we wake up, everything is going to be all right. Hallelujah. But you don't realize you continue to be disobedient, you're going to continue to go through. I don't care how much sleep you do. The trouble is still going to be there when you wake up. But the question is, what are you going to do? You try to lighten your load? Well, I guess I start doing good. I'm going to go to the Congregation of Yahweh and I'm going to clean the church. I'm going to go sweep. I'm going to go mop. You can do all that you want. But the sin, the disobedient, is still there. Your trouble is not going to go away. But you got to do something more than that. Obedience is better than the sacrifice that you make here. Do you understand? Jonah went down into the bottom of the ship and falls asleep. Let's read on and see what the merchants done after that. After they try to throw. Go ahead, Brother Shan.
And the captain came to him.
Listen.
And said to him, what do you mean, sweeper?